He works for a newspaper down there, and he was actually, the machine malfunctioned and papers were jammed in that was going through, I guess it was the printer, I don't really know. It was a huge machine. And he opened the door to the machine to get it unstopped, because while the door is open, the machine is supposed to not run. But he actually went in to unjam the papers, and the machine started up and pulled him into the machine. And he was crushed, and he was trapped in the machine, just inches from being crushed to death in there. They had to call a emergency crews to come and work on the machine and pull him out. And he was in the hospital for 5 days in intensive care, and he wound up with a cracked hip, a cracked vertebrae, and a cracked rib, and just crushed really bad. He had some places on his body where the body fluids were just oozing out. He was hurt so badly in there.
And so, Barbara, are you wanting to know? You said what to expect once you get down there. Are you scheduled to meet with an attorney?
No.
Well, I was wondering if they possibly knew an attorney down there that we could get in touch with to help him.
Well, you know, Barbara, most attorneys are licensed in the state, so I'd say that, you know, you can speak to anybody licensed in the state that does that type of practice. The claim that you're describing, you know, there shouldn't be a whole lot of mystery to it initially. I mean, you know, these are the ones you would expect the employer and the insurer to be doing and saying all the right things as to, you know, we're going to get you treated, we're going to get you better, and all the, the problem but that's one thing that needs to be checked. You know, make sure that that the insurance company that's paying the bills at the hospital, that is being filed through the workers' comp carrier and not through his personal health insurance, because sometimes that happens. This certainly should be being filed through the workers' comp carrier, and I think there's another claim here too. You need to be looking at the machinery here. When was it manufactured? There's another reason I'd get someone involved that, not only that does workers' comp, but that also does, defective products, and can look into that piece of machinery, because that may well be a separate claim that can be brought in addition to the workers' comp. Because again, workers' comp is very narrow, and it's going to pay for income benefits while he's out of work. It's going to pay for his medical treatment, but there's no pain and suffering. It's a very limited type of claim, but the products claim obviously has a broader reach. Pain and suffering comes into play, and it very well could be something that hopefully puts him back where, the attempt is to try to put him back where he was, but I mean, maybe able to compensate him for his injuries and his damages much more, in a much better way than you can through workers' comp.
And you need to get a lawyer quickly, because somebody needs to send a letter to the employer to make sure that the machine's preserved, so you can get pictures of it, you can document what condition it is, see why it failed, have somebody inspect it,
right.
And all that stuff needs to be done right away to protect the third-party claim, which Joe's talking about, which the damages for a third-party claim are a lot more than a workers' comp claim. You get the pain and suffering, disfigurement, permanent disabilities, just the suffering part of it, not the out-of-pocket. And even out-of-pocket workers' comp is limited to a certain degree that are not. Those limitations don't exist in a third-party claim. So time is of the essence, I would say, Barbara, just because you need somebody looking out for you soon. Not as to the workers' comp claim necessarily, but they can monitor that at the same time, but the third-party claim against the manufacturer of the machine.